Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm re-recording all the video footage and audio that I did because it's the first time I've set the camera up. Now it's the second time. What happened was the first time I recorded it, I had double sets of audio on the same track and I couldn't isolate the camera audio. It sounded terrible, so I re-recorded it. There was also a very tiny film on the front of the camera that I didn't bother removing until the end of the video, and then it became very clear. I had criticized it for its poor 720p. Now the camera is advertised as 1080p on the box. At least it says it's HD. This really looks like 720p to me. It doesn't look like anything else. The other thing I wanted to point out is that the audio for the camera actually sounded really good when I was testing it, and I am going to test it later on, but I just wanted to show what it looks like in this kind of setting. Now the camera is about just over 60 centimeters away from me, or 600 millimeters, right? This is what I would regard as desktop distance from somebody, the average desktop distance. I've got a 24-inch monitor in front of me, and then the camera is mounted next to me on a tripod, like what I showed earlier. The functionality for it seems great. From what you can see, it's got a very wide field of view. If I brought the camera closer to me, it shows more than it needs to. HIKVISION, obviously, they make a lot of like security cameras, so I think that's part of them showcasing, their field of view. The other thing the camera has in it, when you turn it on, you'll see there'll be a little white light that tells you that the camera is on. It's also got a little hole for, like, 2 holes on either side for microphones, and it mounts very well on the tripod. The whole reason I got this particular camera was because it mounts on the tripod and it makes things easier for me. Whatever audio you're hearing now is this. Okay, this is just a very basic Mayono microphone. It doesn't do anything. It's only records from one side, not the other side, and that's terrific. So what we have here is I've got a very harsh white light on me, and I've got lights in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn those lights off, and I'm going to turn this light off and do the original test that I wanted to do. And so I'll show you guys low light, and then I'll show you a full regular lighting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off so that you have a good view. Right, so this is the microphone with completely no light source other than what's on my monitor, and I've got my OBS recording software on the black screen, and I've minimized the screen so that you have some kind of light. I hope you can see the difference because I couldn't see it at the time. This is how the camera looks in low light. This is actually no light, and it's just after 1 in the morning right now, so it's very quiet out. It's properly dark, but this is the camera. I think you can see a lot of like graininess in the picture, by the way, which is any camera in nighttime does not do great low light photography unless you've got something very high end, and this is supposed to be a budget option. I'm going to turn this light here back on and then get back to the sound test. Now, for the purpose of the sound test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off. And now, whatever kind of sound you're hearing, I'm actually going to move this away from me so that you don't think that that's what's recording. But yeah, so whatever you're hearing now is the audio from this. And if you'll hear, I can see there's quite a big spike over there. Also, I'm not shouting. I'm talking at a very reasonable volume. This is conversational volume as far as I'm concerned, and I don't think anybody has any issue hearing this. I mean, the clarity is very good as well, because when I played back, I realized it's very decent. The whole reason I got this camera was so that I could use it for personal use, like just fun. I wanted to be able to put out videos there from a top-down perspective, and so this being able to mount on a tripod gave me that perspective. If anybody wants it, it's a good alternative. I just thought it would be fun to review this camera because I think it's such a terrific product. It also gives me a bit of like comfort to start making more videos for online, because I think I'm a very, very need over-planning, overthinking kind of person, and so a lot of thought went into getting this particular thing, and I think it's very affordable. I paid less than $500. It's quite some time, by the way, since I unboxed this and actually recorded this footage. I'm gonna procrastinate it. It'll be 6 months before I actually post this video, knowing me. I hope if anybody has any questions, or if anybody views this and likes it, you can post a comment in the bottom of the video if you like. If you don't, you can at least use it to see what the unboxing of the actual camera looks like. And I'm going to do the rest of this footage, by the way, using the camera audio, just so that you get a good interpretation of what the audio sounds like. In future, when you look at any footage of this camera, it'll be either used in very low lighting, because I'll be using it for like streaming my video games and stuff, and I'll be using it for teaching. If anybody, I'm not a teacher or anything, I'm just somebody who was very hardworking in school, and there were a lot of gaps in my knowledge that weren't full, and I had to figure out a lot of things for myself as I got older. So what I said was, when I was critical age where I needed to have a certain level of understanding. I wasn't able to achieve that from people who expected me to just know things. So what I said was, there's very basic things, by the way. It's not like a whole lot of stuff. A child is a very what's the word I'm looking for? A child has a mind that it's thirsty for knowledge until it encounters some kind of wall of understanding. And in order to make it simple enough for them to understand, and it doesn't have to always be fun, it just needs to be simple so that they can grasp it quickly and move on to the next thing. Because learning is not difficult. Understanding is the difficult part. So that's what I'm hoping I can achieve with this little camera of mine. Even though I'm South African, I'm going to primarily be focusing on topics that are South African, but education is universal. That's the good thing. So anybody who wants to learn anything, if you want, you can actually post any topic on the channel at the bottom, and I'd be more than happy to discuss it for you at great detail, or as much as I'm able to understand it. Feel free to listen, feel free to comment at any time if you like, just so that I haven't lost anybody. This is actually a review for the camera, for the HIKVISION. So thank you.